It's not just a moment, it's a silent test of his identity. In that close, intimate moment, a man is not just feeling attraction, he's feeling pressure. Pressure to perform, pressure to be enough, pressure to prove something not to her, but to himself. His mind splits into two layers. On the surface, he looks calm, in control, like everything is natural. But underneath, there's a constant voice asking, am I doing this right? Is she really into me? What if I mess this up? This is what most people don't understand for men. These moments are deeply tied to ego and self-worth. It's not just about closeness, it becomes a reflection of his value as a man. If he feels desired, accepted, and in sync with her, his confidence spikes instantly. He feels powerful, validated, almost unstoppable. But if he senses even slight hesitation, disconnection, or confusion, it hits differently. He may not show it, but internally, it creates doubt, and that doubt doesn't stay in that moment, it follows him after. That's why sometimes men become distant, overthink, or act differently afterward. Not because they don't care, but because they're replaying everything in their head. What looks like a physical moment is actually a psychological battlefield. He becomes hyper-aware of her reactions because that's where his answers are. In those close moments, a man isn't just feeling, he's reading. Every small detail becomes important. The way she breathes, the way she responds, the energy she gives back. He's not guessing blindly, he's constantly decoding. Is she present or just going along? Does she actually feel this, or is it just me? This creates a state of heightened awareness. His focus sharpens, but not in a peaceful way, it's intense. Because now, his emotions depend on what he interprets from her. If her reactions feel genuine, warm, and aligned, he relaxes. He feels connected, everything flows naturally, but if something feels even slightly off, forced, distant, or inconsistent, his mind doesn't ignore it. He starts overanalyzing in real time, and here's the twist, he won't always ask or clarify. Instead, he adjusts silently, changes behavior, holds back, or becomes more cautious. Because in his mind, her reactions are the only feedback. He trusts in that moment. So while it looks like he's just experiencing the moment, he's actually trying to understand it. The real impact doesn't happen in the moment, it hits him after. When the moment ends, everything changes. During it, his mind is active reacting, adjusting, reading signals. But after, when he's alone, quiet, with his own thoughts, that's when the real processing begins. He starts replaying everything, not casually but in detail. What she did, what she didn't do, how she looked at him, how she responded at certain points. And here's where it gets intense. He doesn't just remember, he analyzes. He builds a story in his head. Was that real connection or just temporary emotion? Did she feel the same depth, or was I more into it? Did I leave an impression, or was I just another moment? This is the phase where feelings either grow or collapse. If the memory feels genuine, mutual, and emotionally aligned, he becomes more attached, more invested, more curious about her. But if something felt unclear, one-sided, or emotionally empty, it creates distance. Not always physical distance, but mental. He might still talk, still show up, but internally, he's already pulled back a little. And the most important part, he usually doesn't explain this shift, because from the outside, nothing went wrong. But inside his mind, everything got evaluated. That's why a single moment can either pull him closer or quietly push him away without any visible reason. He decides the future without saying a word. After everything is felt and everything is analyzed, a man reaches a quiet conclusion, not out loud. Not in a clear decision like I want this or I don't, but internally, something locks in. He starts placing her into a category in his mind. Someone he wants to explore deeper with, or someone who stays as just a moment, and the dangerous part? This decision is rarely based on logic. It's based on how that experience made him feel about himself. Did he feel respected or replaceable? Did he feel connected or just involved? Did it feel natural or forced? These answers shape his behavior moving forward. If the experience gave him clarity and emotional pull, he becomes more intentional, more present, more consistent. But if it created confusion or emotional imbalance, he doesn't argue, complain, or explain. He simply reduces effort, less energy, less curiosity, less presence, and to the outside world it looks random. But in his mind the decision was already made. No announcement, no explanation, just a shift, because sometimes the most important choices a man makes are the ones he never says out loud. He subconsciously attaches meaning to her beyond reality. In that intense closeness, his brain doesn't just process the moment, it assigns meaning. He might start seeing her as different, special, even rare, not because he logically knows her deeply, but because the feeling was strong enough to create an illusion of depth. This is how emotional shortcuts happen. One powerful moment, and suddenly she feels more important than she actually is in his life timeline. But here's the catch. If later her actions don't match that internal image he created, disappointment hits harder than usual. Because now he's not reacting to who she is, he's reacting to who he thought she was. A single moment can build an emotional image, and reality later either confirms it or destroys it. He becomes temporarily vulnerable, but hides it instantly. Even if he never shows it, those moments lower his guard. His usual control, his emotional walls, his calculated behavior for a brief time, they weaken. He feels more open, more real, less filtered, but the moment passes and instinct kicks in. He pulls that vulnerability back quickly. Why? Because men are not used to staying in that exposed state. It feels unfamiliar, even risky. So instead of expressing it, he masks it with normal behavior, jokes, distance, or silence. From the outside, nothing changes, but internally, he experienced something real. He just chose not to show it. What she might see as no big deal for him was a rare moment of lowered defenses. If the emotional energy isn't matched, attraction quietly fades. Attraction isn't just built on the moment itself, it's built on how balanced it feels. If he feels like he gave more energy, more presence, more intensity, and didn't receive the same level back, something shifts. Not dramatically, not instantly, but slowly, quietly interest starts to drop, because imbalance creates a subtle frustration. He won't confront it, he won't explain it, he just starts investing less, texts become shorter, effort becomes inconsistent. Curiosity fades, and it's confusing because nothing obvious went wrong. But in his mind, it did. Because attraction, for him, isn't just about the moment, it's about mutual intensity. When that balance breaks, the connection doesn't explode, it slowly disappears.